Consider the improbability of this moment. Among countless digital distractions competing for attention across infinite online spaces, your awareness converged precisely here. This convergence reflects alignment rather than randomness, suggesting something significant about your current developmental phase that you may not have consciously acknowledged. You have entered a searching state. Sensing capacities have awakened. Memory of something essential stirs within consciousness, something most people never recognize throughout their entire existence. Recognition emerges gradually, manifesting as subtle background shifts in daily experience. Recent months have likely produced noticeable changes in your internal landscape. Conversations that once provided satisfaction now feel incomplete or superficial. Routines previously experienced as normal appear increasingly purposeless. People surrounding you remain essentially unchanged, yet your perception of them has shifted dramatically. This growing discrepancy becomes increasingly difficult to ignore or dismiss. Something within you refuses to return to unconscious patterns. Most individuals never reach this threshold. They navigate entire lifespans operating automatically, engaging in work that depletes their essence, living according to inherited scripts, repeating familial cycles until exhaustion eliminates questioning capacity. They mistake mere survival for authentic living, confuse habitual comfort with genuine peace, and conflate busy activity with meaningful fulfillment. Your awareness recognizes the artificial boundaries. You perceive the constraining structures. Once seen, these limitations cannot be unseen. This recognition distinguishes you from those who remain unconscious. This makes you part of a small percentage who develop beyond conventional awareness levels. The awakening process rarely matches romanticized expectations. Transformation unfolds quietly rather than dramatically. Unsettling feelings accompany recognition that previous ways of living have become impossible to maintain. Loneliness emerges during transition periods when former identity no longer fits, while emerging identity remains incomplete. Grieving accompanies release of familiar self-concepts before replacement clarity develops. These challenging aspects receive little discussion, yet they provide the strongest evidence of authentic transformation. Genuine change always appears initially as loss rather than gain. Relationships that cannot accommodate your evolution naturally conclude. Versions of yourself designed to maintain others' comfort dissolve. Illusions of certainty that previously provided false security crumble completely. This dissolution creates impressions of everything collapsing, but actually represents falling into proper arrangement. Universal intelligence clears outdated patterns before installing superior alternatives. Examination of recent months reveals meaningful patterns that transcend coincidence. Conversations linger in memory for days afterward. Books, videos, or phrases impact you with unexpected intensity. Intuitive feelings suggest significant developments approach despite lacking visible evidence. These experiences function as signals from expanded reality, waiting for your consciousness to reach compatible frequency levels. Most people dismiss such moments as imagination or coincidence. Rare individuals pay careful attention to these communications. Your persistence in pursuing questions others avoid has brought you to this recognition point. You continued investigating beneath surface-level explanations when others accepted convenient answers. You maintained forward movement despite leaving behind everything you thought you knew about your identity and purpose. Current readiness enables reception of understanding that remains inaccessible to most people. The world contains multitudes living in unconscious states while believing themselves fully awake. They follow soul-draining routines, pursue goals imposed by external expectations, inhabit lives designed by others' requirements, then wonder why authenticity feels impossible to achieve. You have withdrawn from these conventional games. Recognition dawned that commonly followed rules lead nowhere meaningful. The path everyone recommended as the only viable option revealed itself as disguised dead end rather than genuine progress. This awakening transcends temporary personal development phases. It represents permanent consciousness expansion beyond previous limiting definitions of reality. Old patterns of attempting to fix others have ceased. Responsibility for others' emotional states no longer weighs on your psyche. Beliefs about earning love through performance or sacrifice have dissolved. Understanding emerges that the most loving contribution involves becoming completely yourself. This represents service rather than selfishness. Operating from authentic presence grants others permission to do the same. Refusing to compromise truth for others' comfort demonstrates integrity. Choosing peace over drama shows alternative possibilities exist. Discovery unfolds of something that transforms everything. Recognition develops that separation from life represents illusion. Victim consciousness dissolves as you understand your role as active participant rather than passive recipient. Circumstances do not control you. Other people's choices do not determine your experience. You represent life expressing itself through human form. Consciousness experiences itself through your unique perspective. This recognition revolutionizes how you navigate daily experience. Problems become puzzles requiring creative solutions rather than disasters demanding mere survival. Challenges transform into growth opportunities rather than evidence of something wrong. Uncertainty becomes adventure rather than anxiety source. Understanding deepens that every experience serves evolutionary purposes, not punishment or testing, but natural growth requirements. Strength develops through meeting challenges. Wisdom emerges through accumulated experience. Peace deepens through contrast with difficulty. Perspective shifts from asking why things happen to you toward questioning what experiences teach. This transformation converts victim identity into student identity, powerlessness into empowerment, reactive responses into conscious responses. External validation no longer determines self-worth. Permission from others becomes unnecessary for authentic self-expression. Desperate approval seeking that previously drove decision-making simply evaporates. This change reflects discovery of something unshakable within rather than arrogance or disconnection. Internal knowing requires no external proof. Confidence needs no constant reinforcement. Self-sense remains intact regardless of who enters or exits your life. As breakthrough approaches, resistance amplifies. Old fears resurface with increased intensity. Doubt grows stronger. Internal voices suggest you are unrealistic for wanting expanded experience. These voices recommend settling for current circumstances rather than pursuing secret dreams. If you believe this resistance, retreat becomes inevitable. Most people never navigate through this challenge successfully. Rare individuals hear the fear and continue moving forward anyway. Restless energy saying, "I cannot continue living this way," indicates readiness. Readiness feels like surrender rather than confidence. It involves dropping excuses and admitting you are designed for something beyond current experience. Rare individuals do not wait for perfect timing because they create it. Action precedes feeling ready. Clarity develops after movement begins rather than before. When this approach is adopted, something shifts in reality's response. Life begins meeting you halfway through previously invisible opportunities. People appear who share aligned perspectives. Locked doors open sequentially. Recognition dawns that success never depended on luck, but on resonance. The moment you stop contracting, life stops contracting with you. Being rare does not make life easier, but makes it richer. Obstacles remain, but perception of them transforms. Problems become puzzles rather than punishments. Uncertainty becomes adventure rather than threat. Pain becomes wisdom's raw material rather than meaningless suffering. Everything that has occurred, including heartbreaks, failures, and disappointments, contributed to shaping someone capable of handling approaching developments. People around you will notice these changes. Some feel drawn by the calm presence, clear choices, and reduced reactivity to external storms. Others resist your growth because it highlights their stagnation. Your truth makes their masks feel heavy. Some people naturally drift away, while others actively push back. You stop apologizing for evolution and stop contracting to fit spaces you have outgrown. Rare individuals do not dim their light to maintain others' comfort levels. Living authentically creates a shift from chasing external validation to embodying inherent worth. You stop begging life for different circumstances and stop seeking signs of your adequacy. Instead, you become the sign through your presence. Your authentic being creates space for others to awaken. This makes being rare a service rather than selfishness. Being rare involves solitude that most people cannot tolerate. While others cling to herd mentality, you have stepped outside collective consciousness. Standing alone feels terrifying until you realize that solitude enables meeting your authentic self. Away from worldly noise, your true voice emerges. Rare individuals know how to be alone without loneliness because they carry entire universes within themselves. Solitude brings clarity that pierces illusions previously accepted as reality. Worldly success definitions no longer dazzle. Approval as commonly understood no longer tempts. You see the game clearly. Endless people chasing endless validation without realizing what they seek cannot be found externally. Rare individuals stop chasing not from giving up, but from waking up. They discover the only worthwhile prize already exists within. This clarity does not create detachment. Being rare intensifies caring about the world. You care so deeply that settling for illusions becomes impossible. Fierce caring prevents participation in deception. Caring motivates truth-telling despite shaking voice and departing people. Rare individuals carry both compassion and courage, creating unshakable foundation. Sometimes you wonder if awakening represents blessing or burden, because seeing what others refuse to acknowledge feels heavy. The secret involves understanding you were never meant to carry the whole world, only your own light. Shining fully without apology creates immeasurable ripples. People you will never meet are touched by courage displayed through authentic being. This represents the quiet revolution rare individuals initiate. This message serves as reminder and confirmation rather than random content. You belong among the rare ones. Rare individuals do not just live differently, they make life itself different. They bend the world toward truth, love, and authenticity. Your turn has arrived to live as the rare being you have always been. The world needs your awakened consciousness. Your authentic expression contributes to collective evolution toward greater truth and love. The responsibility of consciousness involves sharing light without forcing others to see. Your example creates permission for others to explore their own awakening possibilities. Individual transformation ripples outward, contributing to species-wide evolution toward greater awareness and authenticity. Living as a rare one requires courage to stand apart from collective unconsciousness while maintaining compassion for those still trapped in conventional patterns. Your path demonstrates that alternative ways of being are possible and accessible to anyone willing to undertake the journey of awakening. The solitude you experience as a rare individual serves important purposes. It protects you from collective unconscious influences while providing space for authentic self-development. This solitude cultivates internal resources that enable you to serve others from fullness rather than emptiness. Your refusal to accept conventional limitations creates cracks in collective consciousness through which light enters. Every moment you live authentically weakens the structures that keep others trapped in unconscious patterns. This represents your service to human evolution. Being rare involves holding paradox comfortably. You remain deeply caring while detached from outcomes. You engage fully while maintaining inner peace. You serve others while honoring your own needs. This paradoxical living demonstrates advanced consciousness development. Your awakening journey serves purposes beyond personal fulfillment. You become a bridge between unconscious and conscious states of being, helping others recognize possibilities they had not previously considered. Your very existence expands the range of what people believe is possible for human experience. The challenges you face as a rare individual prepare you for greater service opportunities. Navigating solitude develops inner resources. Seeing through illusions builds discernment. Maintaining authenticity despite pressure creates unshakable integrity. All these qualities prepare you for meaningful contribution to human awakening.